Good morning, everyone. So, all fresh faces, new ambition, no old ambition or new ambition, I don't know. Right. So, lots of expectations here in this room. Everyone wants to become an IAS officer, or maybe some of you want to become IPS or IPS. Very good. Indian Foreign Service. Anyone? Raise it so that you know. Good. Okay. Can anyone define what is intelligence? Not artificial intelligence, just intelligence. What is intelligence? Being smart. Being smart. Okay. Application of knowledge. Okay, very good. Then observation. Okay. Okay. Rational thinking. Then what is intelligence? You know, we have heard this word so many times and we use this on a daily basis. Yes? Okay, individuals caliber. Good. Strategies. Okay. Then no, I'm just trying to understand what you understand by intelligence. Yes. Any more answers? Using skills to the best of one's knowledge. Okay, good. Then what else is intelligence? So application of knowledge, using skills to the best of one's knowledge, observation, right? Yeah. Intellectual capability. Okay. So how many of you think that you are intelligent? You don't have confidence. How many of you think that you are intelligent here? Very good. One, two, three, four, five. So we call this herd mentality. Yes. Next. Yes. How many of you are intelligent? I discouraged you. Huh? Okay. So so in today's orientation, I'm going to do two things. One is first to scare you a lot, so that some of you might think of quitting this competition, right? And in the second part, so I'm going to undo the scaling part that I did in the first part, so that you don't come and ask for the refund, right? So now we are sitting in a classroom somewhere in Bangalore, right? Similarly, in almost every part of this country, right? Maybe an individual sitting in her own comfortable room, in their own, pretty library in their home, and some different classrooms everywhere scattered around the country, different coaching institutions, right? So I think currently, going by the number of people apply for the preliminary examination, somewhere around 12 to 15 lakh people, right? Currently dreaming about becoming IAS officers, right? And some of them are there in this race for, let's say, 8 to 9 years, and then 6 to 8 years, or 4 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years, still dreaming, right? Because this examination permits one to have multiple attempts, and then there is age relaxation based on different categories. So it is natural that today's competition consists of people who have been trying for so many years, right? And then you people, like fresh graduates, majority of you, and some of you started thinking about this during the graduation, and then some of you after the graduation, and some of you since childhood also. So, but I don't know, when I talk to you people, whenever you come to my cabin, for discount, mainly for discount. So discount session is converted as guidance session, right? So when I ask question like, have you been reading newspapers regularly, right? So 9 out of 10 people say that, almost 10 out of 10 only. 9 out of 10 people say that they don't have any strong newspaper reading habit, right? Almost everyone. It's very rare to hear someone when I talk to them that they have been reading newspaper since their childhood or during graduation days. Some say that they are reading Prajamani, Vijayamani, front page, and sports, something like that, but not in a comprehensive way, in a way that with an intention, with a purpose to enrich your knowledge, enrich your understanding. So with that goal in your mind, very few, right? Literally, it's very rare. That is one aspect. And then secondly, hobbies, extracurricular activities, books reading, right? That is also almost non-existent, right? I don't blame any one of you, so I blame the entire system, right? That is built around you, the education system, right? Various structures within the society, so that I have totally destroyed any individual curiosity, right? Any individual enterprise, any individual adventurism, right? So that you want to take a small risk, that you want to travel a little extra mile. So that kind of attitude is discouraged in various systems that exist in this country. Am I right? Am I right or wrong? So it can be social, economic, right? Educational. So in school system, the immediately as soon as you uh, get into 10th standard, so the goal is to score 99.9 if possible, right? Almost everyone is 90 plus here, as far as I know, because most of the people tell me that when again during the admission, PUC 85 to 95, that is a range. ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದು ಯಾಕೆ? So that is a range that we have seen, observed. So almost everyone is brilliant kid, intelligent kid here, right? So intelligent from the perspective of your uh, ability to remember lots of information from lots of notes that you got from lots of teachers and institutions, and then repeat them in the examination. And some of you apply that in the examination, in where concepts are checked, application of the concepts. So 10th, 11th, and 12th totally discouraged, right? So it is not that you voluntarily want to do that, the very system around you, right? Because the neighbor and a kid in your relatives, some chair haksapa. So in your relatives, somebody like senior to your cousins and others, right? They would have got into good medical college, engineering college, good percentage. So that naturally compels you to, right, to do better academically, right? So then you stop all this horse riding, swimming, guitar, violin sessions, piano, sports, everything. You stop mostly at the 10th level. And if at all you have been reading any books, novels, right, literature, that also you stop doing because that all hinders, right? So your ability to do well academically. So we stop doing that. And then what happens? 11, 10, 11, 12, definitely you have done well. And then when it comes to 12th, after 12th, then it is NEET and mostly CET, Karnataka. Karnataka NEET and CET. Very few people know about CLAT exam or any exam conducted by, let's say, IASC, ISER, right? Many other institutions. It can be National Institute of Design, NIFT, NDA exam, for example, or AFMC. Anyone knows about AFMC? Did you try? No. AFMC? Good. Did anyone try here for AFMC? Very good. NDA? Good. CLAT exam? Good. And Okay. IASC. Good. I sir. No. Okay. Good. It's okay. Karnataka is like that. CET and NEET. So the choices dwindle, right? So you have only two ultimate choices, and then once you get into either of these, and then the choice is about choosing the best institution or the institution is that is very near to your home, right? So where you can still be under the watchful eyes of parents, right? So you get Bangalore Medical College, but then you want to study in JJMC if it is Davangere, right? So you get IIT Dharwad, but then why go till there? So somewhere within your hometown, right? So I have seen people taking decisions like that. So then during the PUC examination, maybe during that time you had this ambition to become IAS, and then what happens once you get into graduation, right? You carry forward the similar mindset that existed during 10th, 11th, and 12th to outperform everyone academically, right? So you want to be 9.5 CGPA, 9 plus CGPA. You want to always show that 9 CGPA is your CGPA, right? 9 point someone. Have you read 5 point someone? Anyone? No? Have heard about the book? Ilwa. Good. So that's a book by Chetan Bhagat, long ago. 5 point someone is a story of ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೂವಿ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಜುನ್ ಕಪೂರ್ ಆಲಿಯಾ ಭಟ್ ಟೂ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಟೂ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರ ಟೂ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿಲ್ವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಗುಡ್ ಸೊ ಸಾರಿ ಐ ಡಿಂಟ್ ಆಡ್ ಮೂವೀಸ್ ಟು ದ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕರಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್ yes so so 5 point someone is just scoring 5 something in CGPA, but being brilliant in other areas, right? So, but most of you wanted to be good in academics during engineering time also because to maximize chances of getting placed. That is one thought, and another thought is just for the sake of doing well. So there is a competition amongst the peer group within your class, within your batch. So always you want to do. Some of you maybe want to please the parents also. Very rare, I guess. So what happens there also? Even when you get into good colleges or not so good colleges, so you don't make use of the resources, opportunities that exist in those institutions, right? So there are multiple ample opportunities beyond the classroom, outside the classroom, right? They are always there in front of you, right? Waiting for you to come and embrace them, but you somehow ignore them, right? You keep overlooking them, right? So that happens with most of the people. But if somebody had strong extracurriculars since school days, right? So we had a topper before last year, Tejas. So he was uh, international level shooter, and he represented India in Asian Games, and he joined OGP classes from RV College. So most of the 4 years he spent, competing in various tournaments, and he kept winning medals. And then he came, joined OGP. Here also, every weekend he would go and practice. So in second attempt, he got IAS, right? So first attempt he cleared prelims, wrote mains. So small minor issues in mains. So he was able to rectify them, and then continued here only. He didn't go anywhere. So within the system, so he was able to crack the examination. So people like them very rare, and I have seen a correlation between I think by now you might have figured out where I'm going, right? Did you figure out why started with all these school days, college days stuff? The reason is that you tend to carry forward similar mentality here also, right? So when you jump from school to PU, PU to college, whichever course, and then college to post graduation, whichever university institution, and from there to here. When you come here, you, I don't know, knowingly or unknowingly, it's mostly unknowingly because you have never thought about it, right? You have never sat for a moment and introspected about it, how your life has been so far, right? So for you, the success has been a narrow definition that you were successful in the sense that academically, right? So you carry forward the similar definition that you have been successful throughout your academics, right? So you'll be able to replicate or continue the same success streak here also. So that thought somewhere it is embedded in your subconscious mind. So you come here and continue with this similar attitude that listening attentively in the classroom, taking down notes of each and every subject meticulously, neatly, and then going back, reading, remembering, and then coming and writing test will take care of everything, right? So somewhere you have this notion, because when you have this notion, this becomes the continuation of the same old habit attitude, right? So what you are about to do from today onwards, that itself looks maximum, from your perspective. What I'm trying to say, when I say it looks maximum, that is already too much to do for you, right? Reading a lot, making lots of notes, going back, right? And preparing for the test, giving the test, so that it itself becomes the maximum thing to do, right? Because it is more hectic than what you have been doing so far, and it's on a daily basis here, right? It definitely is overwhelming for you. And what happens there when this is the maximum what you are offering, what we are offering daily one answer every week test, so we do it very professionally. So when these are the targets, so there you start compromising, right? Based on where you have come from, based on how your attitude has been so far, personality, right? Traits. Some of you were very disciplined, right? Especially self discipline, and some of you have this uh, inner motivation, right? No matter uh, what is happening around you, you are able to maintain inner motivation. So you start compromising in the sense that we give you mains test as well as prelims test every week. So you take the easy thing. So you give only the prelims test. You skip the mains test. And why you skip the mains test? Because you don't do the daily answer writing practice. So when you don't do the daily answer writing practice, so it is always something new thing, right? So there is innate resistance for everyone to do something new for the first time, right? There is resistance. There is always a lack of self belief, and there is self doubt. So what happens? You keep postponing it, even though you are well prepared. You don't sit and realize that you are well prepared, but to try it, right? To act whenever, in any moment, right, is the beginning of the success. To act, right? Reading, making notes is not action here in UPSC. The true action is not even coming and writing the test, right? The true action in UPSC examination is consciously changing yourself, right? Your attitude, your behavior, your personality, right? So for me, I think that is the definition of intelligence, right? When you realize your weaknesses, when you realize your potential also, right? So you start acting accordingly, you start adapting to the various situations, right? So you go with the flow but adapt very quickly. And then there is creative side to it also, right? So you know when to be creative and how to be creative. It can be the way you study, the way you make notes, the way you strategize also. Somebody said strategizing, right? So that is also part of being intelligent. So all these qualities must be consciously developed, right, from today onwards. Because as you are currently, right, if you continue as you are, right, right now, the way you are, right, you are not going to succeed in this examination. So that is the harsh truth, right? The way you are currently, right? If you continue with the same attitude, same set of values, same set of qualities, same set of attitude, behavior, you are not going to crack. Some of you may be there, rare again, right? One or two here, right? Molded in a different system, a micro system that existed within the very bad big system, right? Within the home, maybe within a best institution. You had the opportunity to get a good guidance somewhere in the beginning. So getting guidance is not big thing, but understanding that guidance is for your own, right, progress, your own benefit. That ability to realize, understand that any good guidance is for your own good and acting accordingly, right? That is also intelligence. So we keep guiding people here. We tell don't take mathematics, right? So you take mathematics. So that is stupidity. IIT integrated mathematics, brilliant, right? So you have won gold medals, highest number of gold medals. Perfect. You are intelligent from the perspective of what you are able to do from the textbook viewpoint, from the exam viewpoint, then, right? From this examination viewpoint, that is stupidity in the current times, current trends, right? So the logic is that the scariest part now. So whatever I said so far, eye opener, right? Kind of helping you realize few things. Now the scariest part is that so in 2023, the mains cutoff was 947, mains plus interview, right? So sorry, 741 was the mains cutoff in 2023. What it means, out of 1750, if you had scored 741 plus and a general category, you were called for the UPSC interview, right? So 741 was the cutoff. So 2024, it dropped to 729, right? 729 was the cutoff. So you were called for interview if you had scored 729 or above, right? So the marks of rank 1, right, was 1066 or something in 2023 and 1099, sorry, 1099 in 2000. So if you were all India rank 1, it was 1099 mains plus interview, right? So that was in 2023, the all India rank 1 scored, I think, 899 in mains, right? And then 200 in interview. So 1099. So this year it is 1043 this year, right? 863 is the highest marks in mains. 863 is the highest marks in mains, but not of the rank 1, right? All India rank 1 hasn't scored the highest marks in mains this year. In my opinion, if I'm right, in last 10 years, this year, the all India rank 1 is not topper in mains examination, right? So 843 is her score, right? And she has scored 101 in the essay paper in the mains examination. And the cutoff is, earlier I said, is 729 for 24 and 741 for 24. So 741 to 899 last year, 23. You are getting my point. Highest in mains and the cutoff marks, right? So just know the difference. And then the difference this year, right? Between 863 is the highest and 729. Has it dropped or increased? Dropped, maybe by around some 20 odd marks, right? So what does it indicate? Hmm? Examination is becoming tough. So that is easy inference. Apart from that, okay. So if examination is becoming tough, in what way it is becoming tough? Where the marks is dropping? Which areas? No, which areas of the GS syllabus? I mean the papers. Essay as well as optional. Optional. Now nobody can score literally 300 plus in any optional, right? Kanisha Kataria, if he had written mains 2024 with maths optional, he wouldn't be scoring 360 odd marks this time, right? That was a good year for him. I won't say lucky year. That was a good year. It had different trends at that time. Similarly, in PSIR, sociology, and in any other optional, to score above 300 is extremely difficult in current trends, current times. So, what is the point of going with maths or medical science or law optional, right? Uh, or even zoology, botany, and then there are stubborn idiots, BSc, PCM, right, from government first grade college. They want to take physics. So, no, I have tried to convince them, but failed. My failure. Right. So they go ahead and take physics actually, right? I have seen I mean in last 10 years one case like that I have seen, and there is another case with maths also, BSc maths. No, she didn't change. Okay, so I told them they'll come and seek a vacancy in Insights IAS 10 years later. Anyway, right? So it has happened also. That also has happened actually, right? So now you need to be intelligent enough to first understand the demand of the examination, trends of the examination, right? And everyone who is sitting in this room is ambitious and have taken initial risk, right, of coming to Bangalore, quitting various other opportunities, maybe, right? Placements, post graduation options, and maybe currently in a job, and still you might have quit the job also, right? And currently in a very good job, trying to balance with that job also, right? You have taken various levels of risk. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಖಾಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ. So when you have taken this is initial risk. Why I said initial risk? Because it doesn't stop here, right? So the risk is going to get bigger and bigger, right, as you move into this, right? So people say vicious cycle. I won't call it as vicious cycle. So you make it vicious cycle, basically, right? By series of mistakes. So otherwise, it's a very beautiful journey, this examination, right? So what people do is that they make irrational judgments. So I said final highest was 1099 last year, right? 23 final highest interview plus the mains. So 24 was final highest 1043, and in 23 1016 vacancies were there. 1016 ranks were announced. In 23 1016 ranks were announced. So last year it was 1008, right? So only 8 difference between last year and this year. But whereas the marks has dropped significantly, right? So and then if you, what is the cutoff of mains plus interview? There are two cutoffs, 1 to to be eligible for the interview, right? And then the last rank in respective category. General category, if the last rank is 500, what is the marks of that candidate? And the all India rank 1. All India rank 1, we know how much it is? 23,099. 24,043. Right. So the cutoff was 947 in 2024. Interview plus mains cutoff 947. So before that it was 953. Right. In 2023 it was 953. The mains plus interview cutoff. Right. So it was 947 and 953. So before last year. Now, what is the difference between 1043 and 947? The first rank and the last rank, 1043 and 947. Somewhere around 96 marks. It comes to 96 marks, right? Similarly, 1099 in 23 to 953. The difference is how much? So it is around 146. 146, right? So what is the point I am trying to make, right? So in 23, in the range of 146 marks, right? In the range of 146 marks from the last rank in the general category to the first rank, similar number of toppers were there, around 500. You're getting the point? In the range of 146 marks, there were 500 toppers because the posts were 1016. So this year, now what is the difference? 1043 minus 947, it is 96, right? So in the 96 range, how many ranks are there? 500, right? So I'm taking 50%, right? So if there are 1000 toppers, 500. So there are 500 toppers in the same range, right? But the mark has significantly dropped. So 146 to 96 this year. So what it means is that in 2024, for every single mark, there were 5 people, right? 5 toppers actually in the end, final list, on an average, right? So it goes on increasing. In first top 50, you will see that for a same mark, you have 2 to 3 candidates, and 50 to 100, it is somewhere 3 to 4. 100 to 200, you will see 5 to 6 having the same marks in the final. But the services vary, the cadres vary, and then as you move beyond 200, 300, for every single mark, for same mark, you will see that there are 10 to 15 toppers, right? For the same mark. So you have the same mark, but you might get a different service, right? You might get a different cadre, the service mainly, right? So again, what it means? What does it mean? So here, in true sense, the competition is increasing. The competition is tough, right? Am I right? How many of you want to quit? No one, right? Right, I know. All of you are tough people here, sitting here. Good. So the reason I wanted to start with this discussion particularly, you should know where you are going from today onwards, which is the territory that you are entering into, right? And what are the challenges that you are about to face? The journey that you are about to embark is not a smooth one, not at all. I don't want to romanticize it. Romanticizing is not that romantic thing. Romanticize means layering it with all good sounding, good feeling words, right? You are the romantic poets. Romantic period in you have in literature. ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಓದಿದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನವೋದಯ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅಂತಂದು. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಹಿಂದಿನೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಇದು ಬಣ್ಣ ಹಚ್ಚಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ I don't want to romanticize that this examination is all good, all easy. Take our notes, you are going to crack this examination. It is indeed a very difficult exam, but again, not from the perspective of scoring marks in the examination. Absolutely not. Right? It is mainly difficult from the perspective of your ability to stay strong for long duration, your ability to stay mentally tough for long duration, for next 2 to 3 years, your ability to stay consistent. The moment you are mentally tough, you stay consistent, you never give up, every day you somehow improve something, right, for long duration. So your long duration is next to 2 to 3 years. You are in the top 5,000 people in this country. You are in the top 5,000 people, and I mean it. I thought about it over and over and over and again last 12 years, right? The competition in this examination is very small and it's very easy actually, right? So somebody is thinking you're contradicting yourself, right? No, very easy. As I said, if you can maintain the consistency, if you can be mentally very tough, you never give up, right? And you always seek improvement. Yes, seeking is improvement, right? Seeking from the sources available to you everywhere, right? Myself, all your teachers, mentors, right? So everyone, and the peer group. So we have got wonderful diverse students here, right, from different institutions. All of you are like very serious about this, dream. So you can learn from each other. And in this competition, what I have seen is that jealousy largely doesn't exist in this competition, right? So because it is so subjective, the competition, right, your most of the time is spent in understanding and leaving your individualistic imprint, developing your individuality, so that you have very less time to compare and feel jealous about how others are doing, right? And also largely because you come from different diverse backgrounds, regionally, academically, right, and socio-economically. So because you come from diverse background, so there is this unseen empathy also among the aspirants that I have seen. So you help each other. I have seen people discussing. In the rarest of the rare cases, such elements do exist here also, right? Someone who feels jealous, someone who steal notes. People steal notes here actually. So when you make notes, you scan it and keep it in your drive. Again, not in your phone local storage, right? We never know when someone will snatch it, right? Steal it also, or you will drop it somewhere. So that again, that is also intelligence, right? So thinking long term, right? Thinking about all the possible consequences and being ready for it. That is also part of the intelligence. Thinking about all the consequences and being ready. So you have to prepare for the uncertain, right? Prepare for the worst by empowering yourself, by uh, enriching yourself from various viewpoints, skills, knowledge, and as I said in the very beginning, changing the very attitude, right? So when you do that, that is the best insurance you have, right? Because very few people in this examination focus on these elements, right? So which includes visiting once in a week IASC campus and attending seminars, right? Visiting Ranga Shankara and watching theater performance, right? If there is a good movie, once in a week, definitely go and watch a good movie. If you are excellent in playing chess or badminton or football, definitely once in a week or every day evening, go and practice it. It's perfectly fine. 1 hour, half an hour, or 2 hours. That's perfectly fine. That must be part of your routine, as well as try to acquire new hobbies and interests. right? From now onwards. As I said, don't continue with the same attitude that you came with the school college mindset here. Hobbies and interests, right, will help you in what? The obvious answer is hmm? Interview. That was not the obvious answer I was expecting. Okay, good. So that definitely help in interview, but they are going to help you as an individual in your life. In the instantly it relaxes you, right? It's for relaxation. It is recreational, right? So it is recreational. Uh, Keeps you that creative part of yours alive, as well as it strengthens that creative part of yours. And more important than helping in the interview and relaxing you, hobbies and interests always opens up new avenues for you to succeed also, right? If this doesn't happen, it is not MSc, or it is not PhD. It is a new hobby or new interest that is going to actually help you, right? So again, we do wrong prioritization here. We take wrong decisions. Doing good course, the, some of you will, those who don't give up with this UPSC, will arrive at this discussion maybe after 2 years or 3 years, right? That you want to do post graduation in something, you want to work somewhere. So if at all you want to do some kind of post graduation, it should be based on your hobby and interest, not based on your BSc chemistry, biology, sorry, botany and zoology, right? I mean, if you want to be end as a zoologist, and I mean, if you have uh, what fan of zoology, and if you have been acting as a zoologist, then continue, right? So otherwise, no, MSc zoology I will do, and then you wait for eternity that the government is going to notify, right, for post of lecturers, and then that will never happen, right? So don't plan like that. It should be based on hobbies and interest. You have to develop. So the best hobbies and interest, in my opinion, right, reading books and writing, right, and also pursuing courses that that you really passionate about, something related to AI, right? Some aspect of AI. Now AI is not just AI, right? Artificial intelligence, it has so many subcomponents, so many things, right, that you can choose one of them. Even though you are bachelor of arts in sociology, right, nothing should stop you pursuing course in something in AI or computer science. So like that, from a different discipline, you have to acquire new knowledge, new skills, and pursue those hobbies. All it takes is half an hour every day, right? 4 to 5 hours in a week. So there are n number of, for example, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. So they have released wonderful free courses, right? MIT, there is website Coursera, right? Udemy, definitely you know about it. And then Harvard, they have all released wonderful videos across disciplines. Like if you're interested in psychology, right? You're from a computer science graduate, your optional is anthropology, but you have interest in, let's say, sociology or political science or geopolitics. So you have videos of Henry Kissinger talking about diplomacy, geopolitics, right? He was one of the greatest diplomats in recent times. So then, if it is about the linguistics, it's about again geopolitics. There is Noam Chomsky, right? Have heard anyone? Noam Chomsky, very good. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ Noam Chomsky, NOAM Chomsky ಅಂತ, one of the greatest living intellectuals today in the world, right? ನಾವು ಅವನ್ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ, ಸದ್ಗುರು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. There's nothing wrong in watching Sadhguru videos. Only when there is something wrong in you, then right. But even then, there is nothing wrong, right? But having something wrong in you is wrong, right? Something that can be preventable, avoidable, right? So try to watch those videos. The reason is that again, this is for the life. I'm not saying that you are going to fail so that you have to make a career out of it. That is not the thought that I have here, right? In this examination only, it has huge implications. One, as he said rightly, interview. Now, again, the maximum number of people who prepare for this examination, right, think about interview only after getting the results of the mains, not after writing the mains, right? After passing the failing, no interview, right? You fail in the mains, again you join mains test series, right? So you degrade your some aspects of your personality, right? You again go to the older self. Going to the older self is not progress, right? So adding some new dimension, enriching you is the progress. So they start thinking about, they used to start thinking about hobbies and interests during that time. So by that time, after spending 2 to 3 years in this examination, one of the greatest hobbies that most of the people nowadays develop is meditation, right? After 2 to 3 years spending in this examination, almost 7 to 8 out of 10 detailed application forms I see have a variety of meditations: transcendental meditation, mindful meditation, artful meditation, tantric meditation, right? Various meditation, vipassana meditation, and then ishakriya meditation, inner and outer engineering meditation, right? So, have heard about these things. Good. Don't look for them, right? Every moment that you focus on your work, right? Every moment you focus on your activity is the meditative moment, right? So be like that. Now, some people also acquire another second greatest hobby is cooking, right? So we've been long enough in either Delhi or Bangalore that after tasting PG food and street food, so you are compelled to acquire the skill of cooking also, right? So cooking enters the detailed application form. So there also like continental cooking, right? After visiting Bunny's bakery here, right? So eating pizza, you have tried pizza, right? All everything is available. You just put it in oven and take it out. It's pizza. So continental and then South Indian dishes, non-veg dishes like Punjabi and all. After visiting Punjabi grill or something, right? So these are the things people actually do. I'm not joking. I'm not doing stand-up comedy here, right? So these are the things actually people do here, right? And then there is third another hobby. Can you guess? Hmm? Very obvious one. Hmm? Journaling, no, everyone doesn't do. If you've been doing, continue it. It's a good hobby. Journaling, it's a good hobby. No, others are also good hobbies. It is just that you add them, out of desperation or frustration or something like that, right? Huh? Guidance, guiding to others. Oh, nobody, few people actually mention the mentoring strangers. I've seen that, right? Talking to strangers. So sometimes when you get bored here, you go to park and irritate others. So talking to strangers, they think it's a very wonderful hobby. That UPSC will think that as an IAS officer, he is going to talk to strangers and get things done, right? Implement schemes efficiently. So no, other hobbies include like walking, jogging, right? Watching movies, watching series, right? So within series, Korean drama and right, Korean pop, something like that. So all these things I've learned because of the DAF, right? So these things come into the DAF after passing the mains examination. Since then, they have never thought about meditation as a hobby, right? So it's a therapy till then. So after passing the mains examination, it becomes hobby, right? So similarly, cooking, survival till you pass the mains. So you have to survive somehow in a frugal way. What is the meaning of frugal? Ethical way, right? So to save money, right? You are doing something qualitatively, but by saving money. So that is a frugal living, right? So cooking is here. So ಹೋಟ್ಲಿಗೆ 100 rupees ದೋಸೆ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರ ಬದಲು so in 50 rupees you can buy the batter and ಒಂದು ವಾರ 1 week you can have stomach full of dosas. So that is frugal, right? Now you enter the interview hall with cooking, watching movies, watching series, watching Korean drama, meditation. Five members are sitting in front of you, right? Now they want to do the personality test, right? So it is PT. We call it as personality test. The interview, the final thing, right? So I'm imagining everyone sitting here will someday go to UPSC, right? With that confidence, I'm talking about the interview in the orientation in the very first day. Nobody talks about interview, right? So when you go there, five members want to know you, understand you, to assess you for the suitability of the for the job of IAS, IPS, and that is a preference you have put IAS, IPS, and Indian Foreign Service. If it is Indian Foreign Service, you have to put it on the top as the first choice. So Indian Foreign Service, yeah, they have some different expectation, right? IAS general expectation, IPS again some different expectation suitable for the IPS role. So now, usually the starting point for any conversation is right. That is something unique to you, right? Right. So that is something unique to you, hobby or interest or something. So there are four columns. The first one is related to scholarships, right? Achievements. The second one is about sports or NCC or others, NSS, Scouts and Guides, others. The third one is related to the leadership roles, right, at school, college, and university level. The fourth one is the hobbies, extracurriculars, interests. So usually they see it, and if there is something really good that you created a wonderful project during the college days, and it went till national level, or maybe you got it patented, right, and maybe it had a wonderful, unique concept, right, a very utilitarian concept, utilitarian, largely useful for the larger people, right, something that can become product, right, definitely an interesting start, right? They will definitely talk about it. Or you have a unique hobby of reading Russian literature, right? Russian literature or French or German literature, right? So you are BE computer science graduate, but here you have mentioned that reading literature is your hobby. Definitely that interests me, right? So I'll be asking about, provided I have read those books, or even if I haven't read also, then I'll be curious to know to what extent you have read, to what extent you have understood, to what extent you are passionate about. So all these four collectively indicate passion for something, right? Passion for something. It can be anything. So there is nothing called a trivial hobby or a very good hobby also. Meditation, if it is really done with passion, right? Not forcing yourself. With passion, if you're doing, definitely you put meditation. So in your words, in your personality, in your individuality, in your behavior, it will be evident that you have been meditating, right? The way you speak, the way you are relaxed, right? The way you are confident, the way your answers are measured and in depth, right? Contemplative, maybe. So all these qualities together will say that you have been passionate about it. So that passion, you have to ask the question: do you possess any such passion currently, right? You have to question, you have to continue that passion. If at all you possess any such passion that is going to help you score really good marks in the interview. So sometimes the entire interview can be only about that one such passion also, right? Because you will have lots of depth, right? Regarding that, you can talk endlessly about it, right? It has happened in many cases, and they instantly show their what do you say, their happiness, and they sometimes they tend to congratulate you on the spot also. It has happened in very rare cases, it has happened, and they will also express their pleasure that it was kind of pleasure having conversation with you. It has happened with some individuals, and they have definitely scored 200 plus 206, right? So you have to imagine constantly when you are in this competition that your preparation doesn't end at prelims level or at mains level. You are at some point of time you are definitely going for the interview. So mains you do well, you get the 863 marks, right? Mains you get 863 marks, that is the highest. Now in interview you score 80 marks, right? Are you going to get rank? Hmm? Right, 1043 is the cutoff this year. 80, I think you'll get the rank, right? The last rank. But you are all India rank 1 in mains, right? And 80 is the lowest they have given in the interview. Why I took 80 is that is also exceptional, very rare. In the entire year, you see one or two people scoring 80, 100, or 120. 120 is the usual lowest marks in the interview. So you're totally uninteresting, right? No passion, nothing. You are nervous, you are mechanical, uninspiring when you go to the interview. So you have put lots of hard work till that moment to score highest marks in the mains. You have completed your optional n number of times, you written test series, written answers, mastered it, written n number of essays, done well in the essay paper also, right? So now if you just score 190 plus in the interview, you are definitely IAS, IPS, and IFS, irrespective of your category, right? So this is the perspective with which you have to continue the preparation. So this thought, this idea must be there constantly with you every day, every moment of this, the during the preparation with you. Otherwise, at different levels, you are going to fail multiple times. If prelims is your biggest target, thinking that that is your biggest weakness, you are going to fail in prelims multiple times, right? The very thought that you are weak in prelims, like you are weak in CSAT, you are weak in geography or economy, right? So over a period of time, you start developing these fears, right? Never allow any such fears to enter your mind. You have to conquer, you have to face them, you have to practice a lot. Any fear can be destroyed through practice. Any fear of anything, everything can be totally destroyed with lots of practice. So you have to practice. So similarly mains also, you should not end with mains, right? Again, recently one guy who cleared prelims came and talked about he wants to devote 80% of the time for the optional currently, because he hasn't done optional adequately. So he has this fear that he is going to miserably score low in the optional. Now 1250 marks is for SA plus 4 GS papers in mains, right? Now the optional marks is also reducing. Now if you are going to give lots of time to optional, who is going to take care of the? When are you going to take care of the 1250 marks? Right? You become irrational because of the fear, right? So that again, knowingly, unknowingly, it makes you, irrational, the fears. So you have to ensure that every moment you have to conquer the fears. So to conquer fears, I said one is the practice, one is also coming and talking to us, right? There is always a solution, there is always a way forward for everything, right? There is always a right strategy, a better strategy for everything. Doesn't matter how brilliant you are. Another issue currently, last 2 years that I've been observing is that most of you tend to be independent in the sense that you try to seek solution independently, right? Through online sources, through toppers videos, right? So there itself you try to correct yourself, assess yourself. So when you have come to Insights IAS in Bangalore, so don't do that. You may do that, right? But in addition to come and talk to real people who have lots of experience here, right? So for example, I've been conducting these sessions for so many years, for so many batches, and majority of the people I speak individually also, right? Over a period of time before admission also I've spoken to so many of you. And at Insights IAS, the diversity is huge, right? We have branch in Delhi, one in Jammu Kashmir, Hyderabad. So we have lots of online students. Our website is still the highest number of people who visit for any UPSC stuff, current affairs quiz, is Insights IAS. You can instantly check in ChatGPT, right? Which is the best website for UPSC preparation? Insights IAS. Which is the best website for UPSC preparation? You ask, it says Insights IAS because large number of people visit to do daily quizzes, to do daily answer writing, to read current affairs, right? And people who create it, people who are aware of the trends, are physically present in the Bangalore headquarters. So after coming here, if you, as I said in the very beginning, if you continue to be your old self without, right, improving something. So one significant improvement, I talked about you have to change, right? So I mentioned some of the qualities. The number one quality that you have to inculcate immediately is to, right, what? Any inhibition you have in your, right, personality or mind, right? Any fear, any complex, inferiority or whatever it is, to come and talk to people, right? You have to overcome it, right? No matter how imperfect you are, no matter how much poor is your communication, no matter how bad you have written your answers, no matter how poorly you have performed in your test, we are always there to guide you and help you, and you should come and talk to us and take the help. Currently, there are two IPS officers who are mentoring the students here, right? After the mains, two more are going to come, right? And after December, few more are going to come. So there is a culture at Insight IAS where there are toppers, live toppers, right? We have this condition. The mentoring must be offline only, strictly offline. So, and I also keep convincing people, those who are online, that come to offline. The reason is that in the offline, the learning is definitely more productive, efficient, right? Why it is more productive and efficient in offline? Hmm? Face to face connection. Okay. Hmm. Correct. Connection is there. Hmm. Then, yeah. Sorry. No distraction. Yeah. ಒಬ್ಬರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್. Yeah. Right. You think that's why I said in the beginning, if you noticed, you have wonderful, pretty library, right, in your home. You think that you can prepare. Again, rare people do that. Large number of people. So in offline, it is more, of course, very easy answer. It is not a brain teaser. That, as I said, connection, right? So here we are all connected each other, right? So we are all unique. We are all individuals, and the number of choices, the number of opportunities, right? The number of learning avenues, right? The way forward, the best practices, various benchmarks, right? You'll be able to regularly see around you here, right? So you can choose the best here itself. And coming and talking is also about the offline mentorship, offline classes is also about building this healthy relationship that continues till the interview, right? So when you come for mock interview, by then I will have a fair idea about your personality, right? So our mentors will have a fair idea about your individuality. So we will be very honest with you, right? So at every level. So in the offline mode, and also offline is physical presence, right? It is again taking action here, right? When you are in the offline, so taking action in a physical sense. So what it does is it builds inner resilience, right? Certain qualities within you, right? So when you take offline initiatives, so those qualities over a period of time become part of you, and you are not afraid to go to Delhi also to give interview, and you are not afraid to uh, do public speaking, right? You are not afraid to ask right questions to right people. So all these qualities quickly build up here. And another offline mentorship, what I've seen is that Let us say that you want to write an essay, right? And Insights IAS, we conduct essay classes in the very first month for all of you. But even then, very few people write. They think writing essay is something very what scary task, right? What is the definition of essay? Can anyone define what is essay? What what is essay?
Descriptive matter, writing something in descriptive matter.
It is writing
Writing an information or anything in a descriptive manner.
writing information in descriptive manners. Do you agree with that definition? Hmm? Who said it? To express the thoughts. Whose thoughts? Hmm? Your thoughts. So essay is right, expressing your individual thoughts, your own opinions, but also analyzing others' thoughts. Not merely mentioning, not merely you have memorized a quote and just putting the quote in the essay, highlight, put it in a box or in the beginning of the essay or in the end of the essay. So it is they are given a topic, so you have your opinion, initial opinion, that is agreeing or disagreeing, and then knowing why you are agreeing or disagreeing, right? Your opinion must be substantiated, it must be justified. To justify, you must have various reasons, right? The reasons can be philosophical, if it is a philosophical topic, right? Sociological, if it is a sociology topic. But if it is a sociology topic, the reason can be again philosophical as well as psychological and also economic, technological, whatever it is. The reason can be anything. Or maybe it is your own rational logic also, right? Born out of your own experience. So all these reasons you give as part of the substantiating your opinion, right? And people are scary mainly because this education system, what it has done is that your ability to think, right? It has destroyed it. Your ability to think, think deeply, basically, right? You can think, right? Is Indian democracy under threat? Yes or no? Hmm? Is Indian democracy under threat? Yes or no? How many of you want to say yes? Can you raise your hands? Okay. How many of you want to say no? How many of you know that you are living under democracy? So there should be some answer, right? Right. Yes or no. It can be yes or no, right? Whatever it is. So some of you have opinion that very few. I said it has destroyed thinking, and I was right. So so very few people here have opinion that it is under threat. Now the question is, why do you think it is under threat?
Not based on individual opinion.
It what?
So basically, what we think we have to do, we don't do that, and we depend on others, what others will do. Like if 9 people agree, then it's like we have a fear. What if we are out and out?
Okay, but what it has anything to do with democracy? It can happen in America also. It can happen in China also.
We are forced to do that.
So as I said, the society, various systems I said, right? Herd mentality, right? Okay, herd mentality, okay. So definitely it threatens democracy, herd mentality, right? How? Now the question is how?
So there are various loopholes and corruption within the system.
Hmm.
So that's one reason why democracy is under threat.
So various corruption, various inefficiency, weak governance that definitely threatens democracy. That is also there, right? So our democracy is not perfect. Of course, various loopholes, weaknesses are there. So the reason why I asked this question is that it's a very easy topic, right? So we are living under democracy. So she talked about how one's opinion is usually molded by the opinion of the majority, right? So you want to be unique, you want to take a risk, as I said in the beginning. Then again, the system doesn't encourage you to take the risk, right? It discourages you. And like for example, 10th standard you are unique, you have understood that you can play tennis wonderfully well, or maybe cricket, the usual example, boys majority here, maybe girls also. So your parents will never allow you to pursue cricket as a career. They will never allow you. So first you top in PUC, right? Then maybe get into NEET or something. Then, so because you cried so many times, they will send you to local academy for few days, right? And then they will find the excuse, you are not hitting enough sixes, right? You are not taking enough wickets, and you are not focusing on the studies, and then they will discontinue. So that will stay with you, the inner cricketer. So you enjoy watching cricket, and then you continue the same to your children, right? You won't allow them to play cricket, right? So the system, the fault with the system. So to write an essay, you have to ask a series of questions, right? So you pick easy topic, you ask series of questions like why, how, and go on just imagining, you have been to panchayat office. Have you been to panchayat office? IFS, no? So born and brought up in city, very rarely in Halli level astane, not that city people, right? So I was Panchayat Development Officer 2 years, right? So by now, if I hadn't come here, I would have been executive officer. Some taluk panchayat, 650 odd taluks in Karnataka, somewhere in some taluk, executive officer, right? You mic ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು speech ಅವೆಲ್ಲ that would have been become dream or impossible, right? So able to the risk bitbite PDO corruption ಇದೆ. I saw democracy in action from a very close quarter, right? As a panchayat development officer. So and I used to write about it also at that time. I used to, whatever I have told you, not by reading any self-help books. Whatever I have talked since the beginning of this session, it is all because I have observed, and I have got the experience, and I have guided people successfully in this. I've seen journeys of so many people, both successful and failures. So having gained lots of insights, right, different perspectives on that. So as a PDO, I used to write. I used to have my own blog. So the blog was hobby, right? So someday I happened to see UR Anantmurthy's blog, not blog, UR Anantmurthy's article in Prajavani about UR Anantmurthy's blog. You know UR Anantmurthy? How many of you know? ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಕನ್ನಡದ ಕಂದಮ್ಮಗಳಿಗೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಪೀಠ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ತಗೊಂಡವ್ರೆ, 8 ಜನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು. ರೈಟ್, ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ದಿರೋ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಯಾರಾದ್ರು? UR Anantmurthy books. Anyone? Professor UR Anantmurthy was one of the great intellectuals in the world, not just in India. If you can visit YouTube, there is this lecture given at IIM Bangalore, UR Anantmurthy, right? So just listen to it, right? You will be very proud of Karnataka, Kannada, people like him, who lived in Karnataka, right? Not only him, like every literary figure in Karnataka. I think I also didn't tweet about it, I spoke about it. So if their works were as qualitatively translated as a book by Banu Mushtaq. Recently Banu Mushtaq got Booker Prize, no? You know, right? So if their works were translated to the wider audience around the world, every one of them would have won Nobel Prize for Literature, not just Booker, right? ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡದ್ದು. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ತಮಿಳ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ತೆಲುಗು, ಆಲ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್. So they haven't, have not been translated. So but UR Anantmurthy used to maintain a blog. It was called Rujuvatu, right? So he used to write. I read it about in Prajavani, and then I thought, if UR Anantmurthy is writing that I want to read, as well as if he is doing, why can't I? Right? I am also small UR Anantmurthy, right? No, just the ambition, I want to write because I'm getting so much experience in UPSC journey as a PDO and in other, like, experiences. So I started a blog and I used to write every day at least 2 to 3 articles. So it would consume 2 to 3 hours every day. And I wrote 3 mains. In all the mains, at that time the essay was for 200 marks, right? So then they used to have only two GS papers, two optional paper, and one essay paper. So I was scoring in the range of 119 to 125. So 3 mains. So that is equal to 150, 160 currently, the highest marks, right? So that is because of everyday writing, the blogging, right? So I no matter I would watch BBC News, any interesting news, I would come back and just type my opinion about it. So I would pass prelims. I would write about prelims. How to pass UPSC prelims, how I did. What people now do, I used to do. That was in 2006 and 7. I'm talking about. So what happened? It developed as part of the UPSC preparation. So PDO, I resigned 3 attempts, one interview. I missed rank by 2 marks. I scored 210 in interview in UPSC, mainly because of Navodaya school and the PDO experience. So I'm a graduate. I'm not graduate. So I studied in Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya. So there we had got unique qualities, right? Being independent, thinking out of the box. We used to steal papayas. So from teachers, you know, garden. So out of the box thinking, and we used to create stuff also nowadays. We used to experiment. So our school was located on a hilltop, in lots of green patches. So we used to venture into jump the compound, go into village, go into all this childhood stuff. So collectively, I think that helped do well in the interview. So what happened? I used to share this experience, how to score good marks in interview, right? So people started visiting the website. Then I never put my photo anywhere, my name anywhere. So they started calling me Inside Sir, Inside Sir, right? So after my attempts exhausted, I became Insights Sir. I also cracked KS, but because of the corruption, CTO I had got, I didn't join. So these two literally just walked into the examination hall, never prepared separately for these examinations. And I cleared mains, CAPF also, one or two bank exam also, but never interested in any of these desk type jobs. Always wanted to be in the in between, amidst the people, right? Somewhere in the public, in the field. So that was the attitude I have developed. So the blog, what happened? All attempts exhausted. It saved me. So became InsightsIAS institution, right? So many people would have prepared along with me. They didn't do blogging, right? So they were not able to. Vision IAS did. Vision IAS, that guy was also blogging with me. So we used to compete. Still, it was like blogs only, and he was the first one to convert it into UPSC, and I was the second one. But he never gave free stuff. The Vision IAS guy, so always paid stuff. So I started giving free stuff, daily current affairs quiz, and I kind of came up with this idea about daily answer writing challenge for the first time in the country in 2012 end. So because I used to write every day, so I felt what happened in 2013 the syllabus changed. So yes, it was in 2013 June. So the syllabus changed in 2012 end. So they came up with the new syllabus. They introduced the glimpse of the new syllabus. So it demanded everyone to do lots of writing practice because 4 GS paper, one essay paper, two essays. You had to do lots of writing. So there were no this main test series concept and nothing, right? So I introduced daily answer writing challenge, which became secure answer writing. So the one which started 12 years ago, except on Sundays, it has been there since then very consistently. Not a single day. There is a day that where we didn't post the questions, right? The famous toppers from Secure Initiative include Srushti Deshmukh, All India Rank 5, and Anu Kumari, All India Rank 2, current Gulbarga DC, Fauzia Tarannum. Right? These people were like sitting in their homes. Maybe they had completed coaching elsewhere. They started visiting website. They started practicing these things every day. So I used to post 6 to 8 questions, picking from the editorial. So you read editorial, right? And then you make notes and then you leave it, right? So I wanted to complete this circle. So instead of leaving it, so I'm going to give you thought-provoking questions. So based on those questions, you do research. You read the editorial, you understand, you make notes, but I was adding few more extra dimensions. So that would compel you to read few more articles, right? Help you think critical way and analyze the issue and then create an answer. So it had a wonderful result. So there are hundreds of toppers which we haven't counted, right, as part of our the results. We usually, when we say 150, 200 toppers, they are from the various courses. It can be only prelims, it can be only interview, it can be OGP, right? It can be various mains answer writing programs, whatever it is. Those who visit website make the benefit. There are, I don't know, so many toppers, and some of them have. Whenever I visited, I had visited Agra. So Agra SP at that time came to know through my tweet. I just put my tweet photo that near Taj Mahal. So he was so happy that, oh dude, Vinay. So he was like old way, like 12, 13, right? So your content helped me become IPS, he said. The answer writing and all. So one of the proudest moments, right? So when people acknowledge those things. Now the question is, the guy who used to do the team who does this is in front of you, right? So make use of all of us. And the reason I was mentioning this hobby is that for me it became a career. And there was a question on blogging also in interview. So what you were writing about and all. When you see this exam not in parts but as one, you know, one single unit in an integrated way, the preparation actually becomes very enjoyable, right? So my key advice to all of you is that never ever take any kind of stress, right? I understand for some of you, your English is weak, right? Your ability to read fast is weak. Your ability to understand in first reading is weak, right? Your ability to write is non-existent for most of you. I understand. Your ability to put your thoughts into words on paper or articulate, that is also weak. Totally understand. And some of you have come with not so good educational background, right? So that I understand. You have to realize that this competition is all about, right, starting at a on equal footing, right? Slowly, steadily, as you move forward, right, plugging all those weaknesses, building the inner confidence, right, and as I said, transforming your personality slowly and steadily. So take this examination in such a beautiful way that, right, next 2 years you are going to definitely learn endlessly, right? Everything you do, every act you act upon, right, is going to help you tremendously in your life, right? You might clear the examination. I've never considered cracking this examination as the success. I've never considered, because that is not the end of the ambition, right? There is no end to ambition, right? It is endless. But the moment you think that getting IAS is your the ultimate goal and ultimate ambition, then again you are disincentivizing yourself, right? You are not going to learn effectively, right? You are not going to learn more when you think that IAS itself is the goal, because that stops there. Majority people stop reading newspaper books the moment they get into services. Majority people, right? And they suffer there. I mean, they become mediocre. They are IAS officers just in front of the name, but I've spoken to some of them. They're like uninspiring, right? Because they stopped learning, right? So then again, you will never be noticed, right? So those who continuously act, those who continuously learn, so you are noticed in society. People notice you actually. People notice you, and they want to help you, they want to further push you towards your success. So be noticeable. And for some of you, I told, become familiar, become visible. So in this institution, write every day. So the targets from today onwards for you is minimum 2 answers every day, right? Minimum 20 to 25 MCQs every day. right? And also one or two optional answers when you start doing the optional. But in addition to that, all our weekly tests never miss a single test. They are evaluated also, right? And they are personally assessed, so you can go to a mentor and check them. And doesn't matter how many answers you write on a daily basis, you can take to your mentors, right? And you can show to your mentors. So all these things, again, as I said, the way you have to approach them is with a very open mind. And going forward, we start noticing some of you because of your consistency, because of your work, your visibility. And then we will have our own discussion. From batch 6, this boy and this girl are definitely going to become toppers, right? So you create that hope, you create by virtue of your action, right? By virtue of your whatever I discussed so far. So that actually becomes true, right? Maybe in this attempt or next attempt, that most likely, almost all the time, it actually becomes true. Many cases I have predicted many people's rank exactly also in this. So all India rank one, Nandini KR, I used to tell, you are definitely going to get all India rank one, right? So there is a clip, I don't want to, of course I can show it. So Vijayawani interview, she says that Vinay Kumar sir used to joke that I was going to get all India rank one. So she got. I was telling Jaydev also same. He got all India rank 5. That he is going to be in top 3 in India, right? I said Avinash, the guy from Davangere, that is going to be in top 10, right? So he got all India rank 31, mainly because they went with the law optional, right? If they had changed law with political science or something, they would have definitely got top 3 or top 5 ranks. So because the marks vary there, they got lower marks. So we will know by, because all these people were regular, right? They would come and show, they would come and talk. More than talking, it was showing their answers and the answer scripts regularly. So we are the happiest when you people do that, right? So we never see it as a burden here. We never discourage you. So all of you are like so lucky in a sense that in other institutions or in Delhi, what happens? There is this trend. First you complete the coaching, first you learn, so then you start doing the answer writing, right? First 1 or 2 year you take the coaching, right? So you randomly speak to anybody who has been to Delhi and come back, right? Right, it's kind of a litmus test. You ask them how many essays they have written. Most of the time they will tell 1 or 2 or 0 essays. Even after staying for 2 to 3 years in Delhi, they wouldn't have written the 250 marks paper, right? And essay and ethics, these two papers. So I was talking about personality and linking it with the interview. So essay and ethics paper also. See, essay, ethics, and interview, these three are the game changer in the current trend, right? In essay, the more better your essay. So we will take a session and we'll tell what is the better essay. So the marks can go up to till 150. In GS1, doesn't matter how better your answers, it is extremely difficult to score above 100, both in GS1 paper and GS3 in mains paper. Doesn't matter how beautiful your presentation, it's very difficult. I haven't seen anyone scoring 100 plus in GS1 and 3 for a while. 1 or 2 people here and there, right? Very difficult. But in essay, you can go till 150, and in ethics, again till 140 you can go, right? Most of the people, all India rank 1, I said 101 in the essay paper, right? So you imagine. So in the essay and ethics paper itself, if you have advantage of 60 marks, what does it mean? Hmm? Having 60 extra marks. Huh? How many ranks improvement? How much? 300 ranks, right? So you will be in top 200, maybe top 100, depending on your other scores, definitely. But you can improve your 300 ranks, right? So from Indian Audit and Account Service to you can be in Indian Administrative Service or IPS and end this journey. So keeping that in mind, so we take essay very seriously and ethics also. So Umesh sir, who is part of the faculty, so he is always available for ethics guidance, essay also.
And I'm also available for essay evaluation, right? If you can write today itself, bring. So this week I can evaluate. Next week also, right? I'm going to be here 3 to 4 days every week, evaluating and giving discounts. Major work is giving discount, right? I don't know why, like everybody wants to come, save 5,000, 10,000, and then of course you have definitely difficulties, but you make use of us for what purpose? Hmm? Right? Getting those 30 or 60 extra marks, right? 100 crores you have, you cannot get IAS, IPS. Hmm? You go like Pushpa, truckload of money and take in front of the UPSC, ask, give me IAS. ED will come. Hmm? And then, no, it doesn't work like that, right? The shortest route between your current status to succeeding in this examination is good guidance, right? Seeking that good guidance. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಡೂ ದಟ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಲೈಕ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಗೈಡಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫಿಶ್ನೆಸ್, neither opportunism, it is intelligence, making use of the resources, right? So ample of it is available here. And regarding optional, political science, sociology, anthropology, Kannada literature have been performing really well. Next best, I think maybe geography, bad. The worst optional as far as I have seen, history, right? History subject, history, philosophy, and there is this psychology also not so well doing, and all technical optionals, right? So when you think that you want to take mathematics, there are people from IITs also, best of the best institutions competing. And similarly all technical, there is a guy from AIMS also, medical science, and there are postgraduates who have taken medical science. So if you're just MBBS or BAMS and wants to take medical science, so then you're competing with postgraduates from AIMS or JIPMER or other best institutions. So definitely your marks is going to be very less when they do the standardization scaling. So be aware of these realities, and we have optional guidance also. For example, anthropology, we have the topper Rahul IPS, and we have faculties also. And then for sociology and political science also, we have toppers and we have faculties also. So for every optional, we have people here. And so what I think ideal for you is that because how many of you have been reading the Hindu for past 2 years? One guy, good. 1 year. You for 2 years, more than 2 years or 2 years? 2 years. So 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Okay, if the question is wrong, since childhood, hmm? You were reading and discontinued. You got into 10th standard. Hmm? In this syllabus or notification, it is general studies and general awareness, right? So it is studies. You have to study. Adhyayana, samanya, adhyayana. Studying means what? Understanding, right? Understanding basically, and then applying that knowledge, right? Various aspects of your life, applying. So awareness, it goes one step further, right? So in addition to acquiring knowledge, studying it, right? So every moment you are totally aware, right? There is inner awareness and there is this general awareness, right? Why something is happening around you. So with awareness, there is this extra thinking, that your own thinking, right? So you sharpen your thinking. So you develop that individualistic thinking. It can be creative, analytical, critical thinking. So that is part of the general awareness. So read notification. So the assignments today, right? So after this class gets over, everyone download the notification. Have you seen the notification? So your first task is to download, take the printout of the notification, right? This is your ultimate guide for this entire examination. Majority people plunge into preparation, continue for 1 year without looking at this notification. What is there in the notification? So this notification is not just about your age limit, number of attempts, age relaxation, right? Various reservations, number of posts, right? It has much more than that, right? And I know some of you applied and wrote also. It's fine. So you have 23 services, right? You have to, most people give IAS as first, IPS as second, and very few people IFS as first. So nowadays they are giving Indian Revenue Service. Where is Revenue Service? Here. So Indian Revenue Service, this is income tax and this is customs. So nowadays they are giving customs on top of IRS income tax because IRS income tax has become less attractive nowadays because of something called faceless assessment. You cannot meet real people and threaten them. So it has become less attractive. So they choose IRS customs because it has lots of diversity. It has got some foreign assignments, right? So you can be posted in airport also, in ports also, something like that. So then you have Group B services, Pondix and Pondips, Danix and Danips, right? Delhi, Andaman, Nicobar and Pondicherry separate services. So I was a person like who put these in third. IAS, IPS, Indian Foreign Service, I put these as my higher preferences when I gave exam because I wanted to be, didn't matter group A or group B, I wanted to be with the people, so not desk or something, right? And I had put Jammu Kashmir as my second preference at that time when I gave interview. There was no question on it, but I had given Jammu Kashmir as risk, like I thought I'll go to Jammu Kashmir and do development. I had this dream. So maybe that thought in mind, we have a branch in Jammu Kashmir, Srinagar. Some thought then at that time, later here when you have resources to spend, somehow you do. And I used to daydream becoming Prime Minister when I was preparing for UPSC. Maybe that motivated me as to contest as Member of Parliament in Davangere. If some of you know, I contested as an independent in Davangere. I was supposed to get ticket, I didn't get ticket, but I contested. And I got highest number of votes for an independent candidate in Karnataka in my first attempt. Right, with 10 months of political effort. So, with 10 months of political effort. So the point is, somewhere that some thought is there when you think that you are enough empowered, capable, so you act on it, right? So that is why hobbies, interests, sometimes daydreaming, some interaction with learned people, somehow some thoughts are embedded, so they actually help you. So then, so here you have different reservations and other things. So what I want to show here is that these are the examination centers. Okay. So this is the plan of the examination. So there is prelims and then mains, right? What you must focus more on. So eligibility, age limits. So minimum educational qualification. Okay. No fees for girls. You know that, right? And there is free bus ride in Karnataka. 500 crore tickets have been distributed. If you open the Hindu news today, the front advertisement is that 500 crore tickets. Yes. So I want to read few things from here. It's a very lengthy document. Okay. Yes. Okay. So they're talking about the prelim scheme. There will be negative marking, right? And the mains. They're talking about thing. So they're giving the syllabus here. Prelims, so they are not mentioning anything specific. So CSAT they are mentioning specific demand. But when it comes to mains, right? So for example, interview. So they have clearly mentioned the candidate will be asked questions on matters of general interest. The object of the interview or personality test is to assess the personal suitability of the candidate for a career in public service by a board of competent and unbiased observers. They mentioned the word observers, right? The test is intended to judge the mental caliber of a candidate. Mental caliber. I said mentally tough, right? In broad terms, this is really an assessment of not only intellectual qualities but also social traits and interest in current affairs, right? The current affairs that we post, not that current affairs, right? So you have to read diverse stuff like different magazine. In fact, in my interview orientation, I have told people to read magazines like The Economist, papers like New York Times, right, Guardian, EPW magazine, right? Some of you have never read. So those are the things. At least you should keep looking at them. And then we have India Today, The Week, right? The regular magazines, Frontline, right? Some of the qualities to be judged are mental alertness, critical powers of assimilation, clear and logical exposition, balance of judgment, variety and depth of interest, right? Variety and depth of interest. As I said, you have to develop certain interests and hobbies, right? And ability for social cohesion and leadership. So, in that moment, in front of the five competent observers, unbiased observers, you have to show, this leadership quality also, and the social ability for social cohesion. Are you a truly social individual, right? Because some people are so introvert, they don't speak to others. Even if you speak, it is not with interest in them. Right? It's a mechanical. And intellectual and moral integrity also. So in the first answer you are given something, in the last answer there should be consistency, right? So there should be moral and intellectual integrity also. Integrity is what? Even when nobody is observing, you are honest, right? Maintaining that honesty throughout your answers in your intellect. What you mentioned in DAF, it is substantiated, right? So through all your answers, and we usually call them as responses in interview, not the answers, the responses, right? So here, when it comes to mains, right, credit will be given for orderly, effective, and exact expression combined with due economy of words in all subjects of the examination, right? So underline and round all these keywords from the notification. Within the mains, what they have written, within the interview, what they have written, right? So there is one more paragraph for the essay paper. I'm not finding it. It's okay, you can check. So those keywords for essay also there is a paragraph. What exactly they say that your essay should stay close to the topic, right? Clear and logical expression or something. In the mains also. So there is a word depth of understanding. When it comes to mains, there is something called depth of understanding. So that is also tested in addition to clear and logical expression. So every day when you read something, when you listen to something, right, when you write something, everything must be right aligned with these expectations. This is the expectation of UPSC, and what I have seen is that this is the correct expectation that is actually tested. So many people don't understand these, and they get carried away with how the toppers are writing, how the institutions are guiding them, rather than how to build their own originality, individuality based on these things. So this is job number one, right? Notification. Within notification, you memorize the syllabus. The second job is to memorize the syllabus. So totally you memorize the prelims, mains, and the interview paragraph also. Remember clearly what exactly are the topics, and every day you will come across one or many topics in newspaper. So they are the most important topics you have to cover, read, make notes, and understand, and also write notes from everyday newspapers. So you will know how to filter topics once you understand the syllabus. So keep looking at the previous year prelims and mains questions, right? So they will tell you, in addition to syllabus, within the syllabus, So how the topic is broken down into subparts, small topics. So art and culture, it is there in prelims and mains, but you don't know what to study within art and culture. So the source is PYQs. In your bag every day a copy of the syllabus notification and previous year question papers. Go backwards 24 to previous year, prelims 25 to previous year. Have them, keep looking at them again and again and again, become till you become very familiar with topics, concepts, and application of those concepts. You will all learn. Every teacher will do PYQs in classes, and then we'll discuss. They'll make you write answers. So this will happen every day. So the last thing you need to do is that you also have to solve these PYQs also. In addition to possessing the copy, just looking at them every day, whatever is taught. So always pick PYQs related to them and keep solving. So this must be done voluntarily, as I said, through your own self discipline, right? So nobody sitting here has the habit of studying for, like, let's say 8 to 10 hours on a daily basis so far. Only during the examination, before the examination, maybe again rare people might have done that. But otherwise, this is new for you, right? Hmm? I keep telling whoever comes to my cabin, next 700 days minimum, you have to be, barring weekly breaks I mentioned earlier. So every day 10 to 12 hours commitment, including the classes, right? 20 to 12 hours if productively invested, doing all these wonderful activities, everything is so I feel envy for you, right? Nobody was there to tell us, to do something. I would sit and read War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy 4 days continuously. At that time, I used to borrow all n number of polity books and read. Nobody was there. Who I created this later, right? So maybe it's lacking, sensing the lacking of such things. Nobody was there. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ, in a village I was doing, where will you go and find people who have written mains toppers? There was a magazine CSR, competitive success. I didn't like that magazine, but that was the only magazine available. Adon bitre in Canada there was magazine called Diksuchi, right? I felt they were like substandard all the time, but we didn't have any so there they used to provide fake interviews of the toppers. So I saw, like, few months I saw the same template, same answers for all India rank ones, like few years. So then we knew that these people were just never interviewed them, because they were also never able to get to them. So we didn't have all these things. So today you have everything, and that is a problem, right? You have everything. Literally you have everything. You have a AC room, wonderful facility, classes, teachers, toppers, right? And topper sessions, availability of toppers here. You don't have to go to Delhi and meet them. They are here. You just walk 100 meters, climb 3 floors, right? Then there is darshan, right? Darshan of toppers. So they are available here. I mean, just to talk, all you need is one conversation maybe, right? So you have everything. So all you need is strong willpower. That's it. So wish you all the best, and welcome to Insights IAS. Hope to see lots of you emerging as brilliant officers for the country. The country needs you. So I don't believe democracy is under threat or something. There is something called availability heuristics. Anyone knows about it? Availability heuristic. Have heard about this word? Hmm? ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? Any law student or any psychology student? So it is called cognitive bias, right, in psychology. Availability heuristic. So we tend to exaggerate something based on the initial information or the obvious information we have, right? So you see a road accident somewhere, and then you feel that throughout the country every day it's happening everywhere, right? So you see somebody telling something, and then you take it as the truth, right? So kind of sensationalizing something within our mind without going to the truth of it, right? So we tend to generalize. So what is instantly available information, so we believe in that, and we tend to think that that is the trend also, that is the truth and trend. So it is called So in this journey also you will come across various cognitive biases, right? So I tell people to include them in the essays, cognitive biases. I've been telling this, if you go back and search in YouTube, maybe Vinay Kumar essay guidance or something, you will find video like 6-7 years ago. So this is important. So not for the essay, for you to understand certain, right? So the Gemini it has given. There is something a confirmation bias. This bias leads individuals to favor information that confirms existing beliefs. Right. If you already believe that only IIT people are going to crack this examination, right? If some information you believe that and then you get discouraged. It is not like that. That is something called confirmation bias. There are various. There is availability heuristic. So leads to people to overestimate the likelihood of events that are easily recalled, often because they are vivid, recent, or emotionally charged. For instance, after seeing news reports of plane crash, you think that everywhere planes are going to crash. I think that is the best example, right? So availability heuristic, right? So there are many. So understanding these cognitive biases is also important for preparation, so that you know that you are either underestimating, you overestimating, right? Having something, those irrational fears, right? So that is why I said sit for a while and keep your mobile away and think, right? Then you will know that there are some issues, and then you can overcome by yourself when you get that clarity that what you are going through. So these I think learn some 20 cognitive biases. They're very helpful in writing essays also, and also dealing with life also, and also understanding Indian politics. Indian politics, not only Indian politics, today politics around the world works based on this. They create lots of biases. There is something called echo chamber effect, right? So you get in your feed, right, in your uh, Instagram or whatever, what you want to believe. That keeps coming. That is echo. You have a belief, you have an ideology. You keep the algorithms keep reinforcing the same thing, and they are manipulated through invisible forces in such a way that so they will force you to believe in one particular ideology or one particular individual or event. So then they create narratives. So it is done to large number of people, and then there are narratives, right? So for critical thinking, understanding cognitive biases is very important. So now we are going to give you chocolates, Kit Kat, right? So it's just a welcome, small. I've been doing it like for all OGP batches, right? ಸುಸ್ತಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು. So it's been 2 hours, right? But again, you have 3 hours classes. So did you get enlightened today? ಅದೇನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಏನು, nobody wrote something. It is there on YouTube anyway, like so it will be there in our portal, right? See, whatever I have talked about in these 2 hour session, right? So you should understand the gravity of it, you should understand the significance of it. So success really becomes easy for you when you understand, right? So for me, that is the orientation, right? So that is the purpose of the orientation, not giving you the predictable ways of doing stuff, right? Telling the truth is the purpose of the orientation. So thank you so much. We'll be seeing you lots of times, we'll be interacting with you, and as I said, come for essay evaluation, answer evaluation, whatever it is your doubt, and we are always available. And don't assume anything that the teachers are busy, mentors are busy. Be persistent, right? So if you want our numbers, you can take our numbers, you can come and ask. So if you want to message and ask us, you can do that. And if you don't respond right immediately, you can send 10 messages also, we don't get irritated. You can call us. If I don't receive my call once, you can call me 10 times also. We will never yell at you. We'll never get irritated. Then we'll know that this person is serious, right? So then we are there for you all the time. So we do testing also, right? Sometimes we test the patience sometimes. So you have to be humble. You have to be grounded here, right? Always think that you don't know anything, right? Be like that, like you don't know anything. And keep learning all the time. Never be satisfied with what you have already learned. So just go with the flow, learning from everyone, and don't be pretentious that you already know something, you are smart. So don't, not required here, right? If you are brilliant, if you are smart, just be like, like everyone. So don't pretend that you are smart and you are very helpful, resourceful. No, it's not required, right? So be like no one. So all the best. Sikka Gnana. All the best. Thank you.